Just trying to do this. So, I almost picked up the wrong project. Almost. Yeah. I was gonna work on my pants, and then I realized that that wasn't gonna work. That wasn't gonna work because it's Sunday, and I'm meant to be working on this. So yeah. So here we are. Oh yeah. Before I forget, let us take off our sound. Put on our do not disturb. Because what we don't want, friends, is a phone call or text message. Now, at this point, because I'm recording from this side, it doesn't much matter. You know. But still, we are trying to maintain, like, a standard and, like, a way of being, so this doesn't become an issue. But yeah, I forgot it was the weekend, and so that my weekend projects are personal projects. Now technically what I've been working on all week is a personal project. It's just a matter of it is also related to my work. Like, I'm not selling socks right now, but I'm absolutely mending clothes for people and consulting on mending. So yeah. Yeah, so here we are. I don't feel great right now. Brenda is wreaking havoc. Deborah is joining the party. And Agnes is muttering in the background. So it's not fun in my world right now. Yeah. I talked with a mutual friend. And Mutual's not doing well. And to be completely honest, having that conversation with them kind of helped trigger this episode we're going through right now to getting worse, which is not their fault. I was not expecting that me asking how somebody else was going to send me into a tailspin, but it did. And so here we are. But I'm like mostly on time, right? That matters. I've been having a really hard time being on time, mostly because I'm so tired at the end of the day. And I made it here, and that's a big deal. It's a really big deal. Yeah, so I'm in a weird space right now. I don't particularly care for this weird space. It kind of sucks, to be honest with you. But this is kind of the hazard of living with Brenda. I'm fine and then I'm not. Which I guess for me is part of why I can't get on board with, like, certain ways of dealing with things, I guess is the way to put it. So, like, if I know that at any moment I will suddenly not be okay, and I'm waiting to do something until I'm okay, I'm going to be waiting forever, right? Like, that's gonna happen. I'm never gonna be okay, or I'm never gonna be okay long enough for me to do anything. So for me, that is not a valid reason to make or not make certain decisions. And that's, you know, that's like my personal experience with this. Like, if I had to be to a certain level of okay, I just would never do anything. Right. And so, it has been my tendency to just push through when I can. Because there'll be times when I can't. So yeah. And this is not like to throw shade or to criticize anybody's way of doing things. I just know that I can't do that. And I can't do that because I would just never be okay. And that's really, I guess, more of a foil to people, right? Like, why would I choose to do this? Why would this happen? Why would I like make this decision, right? Which I think makes like a little more sense over trying to say this is the way to deal with something, right? So yeah, question mark, I guess. And I mean, it's, you know, it's fine, like whatever, no big deal. But here we are working on socks. I think I'd been deciding this for a while, that I was going to leave my like purely personal projects that had like no real relation to like work, which right now includes these. Might I offer like socks in the future? I mean, that's entirely a possibility. But like, right, does that make sense? Might I not, like, ever? Yes, like, yeah, entirely. So that's like a possibility. That's a possibility. Yeah. So like here we are. I think I just figured out a way to find out. Oh my gosh. Okay. I think I just figured out a way to find out something about my account here, which is cool. Because because. So yeah, let's see what's going on here. We're doing multiple things right now. So yeah, I think this happened last time I did this, actually. Like I did Project Time. I was also trying to I think I was also trying to do this where I was rabbits. Doing this. Yeah. Let's see. So the last one I had was 8-8. Okay, so yes, I should be sleeping. Should be up here. And it's not yet. Okay, cool. So I don't know how upset my computer's going to be if I try to do this. Theoretically, we should probably not then. Yes. 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 Theoretically, yes. That's okay. That's okay. I have to find my notes for these because I am realizing I have no idea like where I am as far as what row. I know that this yellow one is the end of the toe. And this, I believe, is the everything above this is like the leg, I think, is what that's supposed to be. I think. I think. Therefore, I am. We had a friend and I had a whole conversation about that, by the way. We're like, wait a minute, who said that? And I was like, was it Descartes? And friend was like, yes, it was Descartes. And I was like, ah, look at that. Because I was like, was it some Greek guy? And so apparently originally it was in Latin, and that's where I was getting confused. Greek, Roman, you know. But I was right that it was Descartes, which is really weird because that seemed like some random knowledge that why would I even have that? Well, this is why. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is we're going to download is what we're going to do. We're going to download. Because I know I don't have this one. So these last three I've got to download. Okay. Yeah. So we're going to try and make sure that I can hear every day at 8 o'clock this week. And that's going to be one of the goals, is to be here every day at 8 o'clock. Yep. That is correct. So I also learned recently that my replays are starting in 10 days, 11 days really. Anything that is more than a week old is going to disappear, so we're going to have to get a lot more diligent about making sure that stuff gets downloaded like the day of and posted the day of, like onto YouTube. Like we're gonna have to be like hella more diligent, which is fine. I need to be, right? Like seriously. So don't mind me, I'm typing out. Let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 20, 22. 1. Okay, cool. So yeah, the first thing I'm doing is trying to make sure everything is downloaded, first of all, because if it's downloaded, I can definitely upload it, right? If it's not even downloaded, I won't be able to even upload it, right? Like I won't be able to do that at all. So that's like a thing. So here we are doing that. Doing that. Yeah. I was trying to do this before I started streaming and it didn't really work out. So now I gotta be honest with you, I don't think I have a system drawn up for Twitch, and I need to obviously get one. I've been having like the hardest time keeping up with anything, honestly. Now I gotta say though, that would be another thing about this whole like mental illness issue, is that it makes lifing super hard, and I have to do everything on my own. Like I don't have any family here. I really don't have a support structure. And being like single and the few friends who are actually close enough that I would like trust and accept their help are like far away. And then collectively, we're all not doing well. So saying that anybody is in like a good place to be helpful to anybody else is, yeah. Um, yeah. And I don't know. Like, just like I said, me personally, I just can't wait to be okay. Like, I can't. Because I'm never okay. That's the thing. I'm never okay. I'm never going to be okay, likely. So I'm just going to have to be good enough. Like, I'm just going to have to be, um, that's just what we're going to have to do. And I mean, is that like ideal? No, but that might be the best we can do. If that's the best we can do, that is the best we can do, right? Like, like for real. Um, so I mean, if that's it, that's it, right? Um, and so here we are. Yeah, it's so Friend and I, because of everything that happened last weekend, have been having a lot of like mental health conversations. Because that was a really bad time for me. And it's not that we don't always have these conversations. We totally always have these conversations, right? It is a matter of like there was a direct relation thereof, and so like super relevant. Um and it's interesting. It's always interesting hearing like the experience of other people. Like we were talking about this today, and I said something to friends very late last night, and they were like, that doesn't sound right, that's not normal. And I'm like, and today we were talking like about it, and I was like, well, you got to remember that I am a completely different person than you, and I have completely different tolerances for different things. And there are things that are okay with, or have accepted, and I cannot and will not, right? And vice versa. And that's the same with everybody else, right? Which again, this also relates to this, some people can push through, some people can't. And it's not like there's not like a right or wrong answer per se here, right? Um, Obviously, you shouldn't accept somebody treating you badly, right? Like that's never going to be okay. Okay. But if somebody is in a bad way, the chances that they're not going to be like particularly articulate or like their best self about something is reasonably high, right? Right? Like that's just likely. Like if you put more stress on somebody who's already under stress, you should not be shocked if they crack. Right? I don't think it's reasonable to be surprised if someone breaks. Now, you can't possibly know what somebody else is going through all the time, and some people are not particularly communicative, and some people, even if you ask them, they will not answer you for all kinds of relevant reasons. Like sometimes you don't want to talk about something, sometimes you've already talked about it enough, sometimes talking about something, like me, isn't really constructive for you. Like it's not. Like the only real constructive anything I get out of talking about something is basically getting it out of my head so I can kind of like see it before me, right? And like work through some of the mess. Because one thing about being a person, right, is you can totally feel multiple ways about the same thing. And that sucks, right? That is not awesome. That's not fun. Wouldn't say it's enjoyable. Don't recommend. 1 star. Okay. But it also is very indicative of life, right? Like things are not this or that, right? They're not. Like that's not realistic. So it's totally fair for things to be like messy and difficult and you to feel some kind of way about it. And I think if they're messy and difficult and you don't feel some kind of way about it, I mean, I think that's much more of a concern than if you do, right? It seems reasonable. Seems reasonable to feel some kind of way about stuff. Here we go. We're downloading more. Yeah, I'm trying to make sure all of my stuff is downloaded now. I want to make sure that I just get this done so I don't have to worry about this any longer. Yeah. So there's that. And it's fine. Like, I'm not upset or bothered particularly by, you know, anything right this second. Like, I'm fairly neutral, which is good. That's definitive improvement from what I was like 2 or 3 hours ago. Definitely was not neutral. Yeah. Yeah, I have a lot of conversations trying to explain what it's like to have a borderline brain to somebody else. And oh gosh, it is really weird. It's not particularly comfortable. You know, don't recommend it as like a like thing that you should do. You should, if you cannot do this, you should probably not, right? But you know, you probably also are not like doing it on purpose, right? Like you're not. And if you had an option, you probably wouldn't do this, right? You know, so there's that. I got one more to download, and that's just of these. That's just of the ones I've got going on right now. This will be all of the things, and I think I'm gonna shoot for getting all of the gaming ones updated first because I'm actually signed into that account on YouTube right now. And those I have to download or I have to upload that way. Now, that being said, I think I have to splice a few videos together. Like I know I have to splice at least 2. And I think that might have been what stopped me last time. Is I spliced them together on my phone because the thing is there. Yeah. So, oh, there we go. Hurrah. But what I can definitely do right now, right, is download this. I can definitely do that because bare minimum, that's like what I have to do. Like if I have to upload this stuff later, I can totally do that. That's no problem. But if I don't download it, I'm not going to be able to do anything later. Yeah. So that's cool. Hooray! We did it. So that's doing that, and that'll be all of those, and then I won't have to worry about that. So that'll be great. Now I was looking at some Sean Koss, some of his artwork earlier because it fit the mood. You know, one thing I think I'd like to do this year, I think I'd like to do Inktober, and if I do my drawing class and like I catch up with it and get on it, I will absolutely be able to do that. I should do that. Yeah, I actually started that. I started that class. It's on my Patreon. I think from somewhere last week. I was working on it last week, I think. Or if not last week, the week before. Yeah, because I think I don't know what happened Friday. Like, I know I dropped the ball. Uh-oh, here comes the backswing. Yay! Damn it. My brain is, like, seriously my enemy. It is against me. It is against me. It is trying to sabotage me. This is terrible. Yeah, so the mutual is not doing really great right now, and I am not sure how to support this person. Like, I know I can ask, but I'm not sure that they have an answer. And I certainly don't have any ideas. Yeah, I don't deal with emotions terribly well, in general. Like, I don't process them like other people do, and so it's very alien to me at times, and that can just, it doesn't translate to, like, having good interpersonal relationships with people. Like, I can logistically understand that this does not work in my favor, but I cannot be disingenuous. I cannot say, oh, I get what you're going through, if I don't, right? Like, I can't, and I won't, right? Like, I won't be that person who says, oh my god, I so understand, and it's like, no, you don't. You really don't. Okay, so I've downloaded everything that there is to download, so that is something. Hooray! But it's also just, it's messy and it's difficult to deal with too. So I have, like, what is it? I have emails from, like, Twitch saying, hey, this is how this did, right? And so I can now go back, right, and, like, probably find all the videos and all the things for it, and if there's a summary of a stream and I don't have it, then I will be able to mathematically say for sure, yes, you missed a download, and that'll suck. I kind of don't want to know, but I kind of do. Yeah, I have this, like, insatiable need to know, which is not particularly great or constructive. Yeah, so speaking of the mutual, right, some of the work that I do is along the lines of very metaphysical, and I do have a suggestion for them. Unfortunately, because this is work I do, this is not work that I can volunteer to do, is the thing. And every time, like, I would really like to just be able to do community work, but it's not sustainable for me to do that. Like, I work to a certain standard and in a certain fashion, and it's not something I can just do out of pocket. Like, I can't, especially not now, but, like, in general, no. So that's also, like, an issue of part of why I haven't made, like, a solid offer. I absolutely, right, have, like, an idea. Like, I have an offer in my brain, and I'm like, yeah, but can you afford to do that? And I'm like, I sure can't. And it's like, should you make that offer? And I'm like, I sure shouldn't. And so now that's, like, sticky as far as like a situation now, and I'm like, And I don't like that. I don't like that I can't make this offer. Like, it's not that I feel bad. It's like, I'm like, oh, I could do this. And it's like, no, you can't. I'm like, oh, yeah, I can't. And that sucks. Oh, does this mean I downloaded everything? So I got all my downloads done for my art. Hooray! That was great. So the only one I have to do is the one we're doing right now. That is awesome sauce. Good job, me. Hooray! That's very cool. So that's good. That's some kind of relief. Yeah. Now the question is, do I have that update? Like, how far do I have it updated? I don't know. I don't know if I did the how indeed. I might have, but I can't recall. So the one goal is to work on art projects all this week. I might still continue gaming a lot. I don't know. Like, that's something I kind of do late at night. I'm usually doing it at a point that I need to be doing something else, though. But my brain has been so fried that that's all I have, like, time and energy for at that point. Now, what I will say is, because I'm doing it so late at night, it's not getting uploaded until, like, the next day. Because I'm not going to be in bed playing games, you know, hanging out with y'all, and then get up and upload it onto YouTube. Like, I'm not gonna do that. And because the purpose of this channel is, like, mainly for project time. Yeah. So there's that. But I think so I was talking about goals, actually, with friend, because so friend wants to get to the gym and has been having trouble doing so. And I can understand. It's, you know, when you've got enough to do, adding one more damn thing is it's too much. You're asking too much, don't. So I can understand, like, the inertia of adding yet another thing. That's like my life. So there's that. But I also know that if what you're doing is yielding a certain result and you want a different result, what you're doing is not going to work out, right? Like, that's, you know, pure logic right there. That's it, you know. So I guess the thing that comes down to it is, like, what do you want more? And, like, how much discomfort, you know, change, whatever, are you willing to go through to get it? Which is funny because, like, when I talk about, like, astrology is a part of the work that I do. And one of the things people are like, oh my gosh, what signs work best? And I hate that. I hate the question. I hate the question so much. And the thing I tell people, because I also do numerology, the thing I tell people is, oh, that reminds me, I should do that. That's gonna be a fun, weird, random question. Is it's not about compatibility, because compatibility, like, I don't like that whole concept. Like, I think people are, like, expecting a certain amount of, like, commonality when they're saying and thinking about compatibility, right? They're expecting to have, like, I don't know, some percentage in their head of, oh, we have to have this much in common, right? And I don't think it's a static percentage across people. I think that across different people, it's going to be different percentages. And I think technically, if we want to be real about this, it's even going to depend on what it is, right? So maybe you're like, okay, you're like me, you're super into horror movies, you love horror movies, and so having somebody love horror movies as much as I do, A-okay, right? That works. I also love yarn. Having somebody love yarn as much as I do, you know what? I don't know about that one. I don't know my threshold for having that in common with anybody other than strictly a friend. I don't know that that's going to work out for me. And that's because, you know, different dynamics, right? In relationships and how you just relate to people, right? And I can totally be, like, very good friends with people who have absolutely no concern about things that I do. Like, I love Friend to death. Friend is like family. Friend is not a yarn person. Okay? Friend is not. I don't think Friend hates yarn. Friend just has no interest in yarn. That does not take away from our friendship, though. Because Friend loves books. I love books. And I don't even know that, and Friend doesn't even read all the same kinds of books that I do. Like, I absolutely positively, right, read a bunch of different books that Friend doesn't, and Friend reads a bunch of different books that I just don't. It's like not my cup of tea, not my thing. And so that's like a whole thing. It's a whole thing. So yeah. Yeah. But I don't find that those, not having those common points, or what those common points are, like, are any kind of, like, issue for me. Now, I think there's probably certain things I would like to have for myself when it comes to, like, a significant other, right? Like, one of the things that has piqued my interest is speaking to somebody who's an artist. Which is funny, because you would think because I'm an artist that I would talk to a lot more artists. I actually don't, which is weird. And I actually had a conversation with an artist that we apparently are not speaking any longer. And they were like, oh no, I only know a lot of artists. And I'm like, really? Because I know, like, virtually none. Now, that being said, it's not that I don't know any, like, at all, right? It's that arts, I don't talk to a lot of people who do the same kind of things that I do often. Like Robot Sarah, right? Robot Sarah is in the Canada and is an oil painter. And I've never done oils. I wouldn't call myself a painter. I have painted, but if you were going to say what's your medium, I'm going to go with textiles, not paint, like, ever. And my paint of choice is acrylics, and I want to get into watercolors. So, yeah, right? Very, very different medium. There are also a portrait artist. Not photorealism, but like real life subjects, right? And like we don't talk shop per se. Like, I know that they're doing an event and they were in like a contest because I caught the share on their social media because they use it for work, and that's how I know about it. And I just like literally just happened to catch it because I haven't really been social mediaing a lot. I've been trying to get back to it a little bit, like specifically and exclusively for work. But, you know, whether that's successful or not is another matter. But like we don't talk about painting like ever because I don't do oils and I don't particularly have any interest in them, and I have zero understanding of like oils versus like compared to any other paint, right? And so yeah. Now, if Robot Sarah wanted to give me an entire fucking dissertation on like oils and technique and everything, oh no, I would absolutely listen, and I would probably find it very interesting because I don't know anything about it. but I wouldn't seek out the information myself because it's not particularly relevant. Like, I like learning, so I'm not above or disinterested, right? And yeah, like anything like that. So, yeah. So yeah, there's that. But we totally talk about drawing because Robot Sarah teaches, and I have absolutely asked her questions and sought out her advice and her recommendations because, like, learning to draw is something that I would like to, devote time to, and it's something to which I haven't really devoted any time, like, seriously, ever. And that's, absolutely part of what they do, and they would know, and so I asked them. But, yeah. So there's that, I guess. I know a bunch of fiber artists. I'm not really in strong touch with them because the kind of fiber art that a lot of people I know, like I know a lot of doll makers actually. I don't make dolls on the regular, so I'm never talking about that. And I have like made more dolls than I do now. Like right now, I'm moving my work in basically a different direction, and so it doesn't leave a whole lot to talk about it, I guess, is what it comes out to. But like I know several knitters. I don't talk to be fair, I don't talk to anybody with any regularity. Angel Babe, yes. Have talked to them with some degree of regularity. Have talked to the mutual more recently. Obviously, we're always talking to friend. And that's about it. Like that's really about it. Which is like that's it. Which is, when I sit there and think of it, I'm like, huh, that's interesting. It's also super boring. So there's that. Yeah. But yeah. Yeah. Just had a thought. I think I'm gonna have to start like talking about my work more. Ew, gross. That sounds weird. Now Angel Babe is an artist. Totally different like medium and genre. And that is part of why they're interesting. They are a musical human, and I am like pretty much, as far as I'm concerned, like the farthest away that I can get from musical. Like I have played a musical instrument before. I'm not saying with any particular skill. I absolutely like would love to learn to play guitar and bass and drums because that's super fun to me and I'm excited. But like yeah. Yeah. That's also like just that would be fun. Like that would be neat. That would be fun, but like is that realistic? That's a great question. I don't know about that. So, I'd love to do a lot of things, and I guess I accept that there's a lot of the things that I would like to do, which is probably never gonna happen because like when exactly am I gonna have time for them? Not before I make time, right? So, and if I don't ever make time for them, they're not gonna happen. Like that's just not gonna happen. Yeah, for all intents and purposes, if I, in fact, um, kept to my schedule, like to the letter, I would not have time for anyone or anything. And I know that. And that's not gonna work for me. Which is, you know, part of why you see me show up and not show up. Because I'm like, every day I'm making a choice of what am I gonna give up, what am I not gonna get to today. Which I don't like those choices, but like for real, those are totally legit choices that are gonna be made. Oh no! Another wave. Deborah needs to stop splashing. I don't like it. This is fucking cannonball into the pool. Whole bunch of suck. I love these like terrible downswings. They're great. Fantastic. So. Oh my goodness. I keep thinking about going back to reading. I haven't read anything. So I think I'd set a goal of like 75 books this year, and I'm like at 30, and it's August. Now, to be fair, let's see. I think December 2019, I read like 30, almost 30 books like that month. Or like 20 or so. Like a significant amount of books. And I have a bunch of books that I could read. Like I have a bunch that I physically own that I could read. I have a library, right? Also I have Kindle Unlimited, which is like, yes. And so like I have access to books, and I actually have a bunch of tabs open right now from Amazon, because between Book Talk and Bookstagram, I'm like forever seeing ads about books, and I'm not mad about it. Yeah. Like I kind of would be willing to give up having a personal life if I could just read all the time. Like I think that would be a pretty fair trade. Like, do you want to go outside, see people, socialize, or read books? Ooh, I don't know. I do not know. So I found this new creator. I'm pretty sure I followed them on TikTok. I'm pretty sure. And it was somebody I saw on my For You page. So like completely random person, but like I guess, they fit the algorithm enough because they were talking about Book Talk. And it was there's a black guy talking about finding a book baddie and how he's gonna go to the bookstore and he has to like dress to impress, because it's like they're not there to see you. I'm like, yeah, but you know what? You're gonna be here. And then, more to the point, I see another video, hours later, next day, whatever, and it's like, look, if you're gonna, like, let me tell you, if you're gonna get in with a book baddie, you need to understand that you need to bring your A game, because they've got like 6 or 7 book boyfriends. They're just, amazing, and you're gonna have to do better than that. And friend and I have had this conversation. Like, you can argue that, some people like to go ahead and just say Disney ruined to them, and, just fairy tales in general. Yes. Ruined a lot of people. Fantasy, fiction, romance, sci-fi has ruined a lot of people, right? Like, because those things just, there's a reason they're fantasy, right? There is a reason that they are fiction. There is a reason. And that sucks, but like, at the same time, yeah, it is interesting. Like, where it comes out of that. Now, I think we probably have time to finish this round and maybe another one, because I'm halfway through this round and I've got 10 minutes. But what we're definitely going to do is we're going to finish an entire round before we call it done for tonight. It is bad form to quit working, knitting, crocheting, weaving, whatever, in the middle of a row or a round. Like try to, like, if you can't finish up this section, at least finish up like the row or the round that you're on. Obviously we're in Legland, and so that's just going to keep going until this is gone. So, you know, yeah, but you definitely need to get to the starting point with these, because otherwise it's going to be weird. Okay, it's going to be weird, it's going to be awkward, and the last thing you want is your, you know, tension to shift drastically in the middle of a row or a round because you stopped in the middle of it. It's gonna be a lot harder to like salvage. Okay, but yay. So yeah, I keep thinking about reading and I keep not, because I think that I end up doom scrolling. I'm not super mad about it because I keep finding like fun, interesting creators and like watching funny stuff, and then sending friend like 8,000 TikToks. Yeah. So that's it. Have fun conversation about rabies today. Yeah. Watched an interesting video about it the other day. Actually, I'm pretty sure that I watched a House episode about it the other day too. Rabies is gnarly. Had a whole conversation about smile mask syndrome earlier today, and like just men in general asking women to smile, societal expectations that are ridiculous, which is, you know, a lot of them. That was fun. That was fun. These are fun things. Yay! Oh, there comes that wave again. Oh god. That was fine, and then thought it was fine, and it was not. Yeah. So, and this is the reason why I have to have these hard conversations. So, oh yeah, I had a hard conversation with Angel Bay. So I took the time to kind of regale them with a decade's worth of not awesome like experiences. For context, okay? So there's a lot of things that I do that seem on the surface probably strange, weird, not make any sense. But when you put them in context of certain things I've had to endure, experience, or suffer through, or been subjected to, they make a lot more sense why like I have these weird, seemingly anyway, weird reactions to things. It's not that it's a weird reaction. It's perfectly reasonable in context. Yeah. And I do have a concern that because this conversation was had, that now I am the worst. Like, I feel like I am the worst. And that's a shitty feeling. It's not that anybody's making me feel it. Like, it's Brenda. It's Brenda and Deborah. A little bit of Agnes. She just, like, randomly chimes in. She's like, hey, I had an opinion, and it's like, nobody wants it. Thank you. Nobody wants it. Yeah. It's awesome. It's super great. Love this for myself. See, look, I was right. It is 54 minutes. And we were halfway through, so we're gonna go a little bit over the hour, which is perfect because I want like an hour minimum. I'm trying to exercise some discipline. Yeah, I'll see how that goes. So I'm trying to take this week as like a silver lining, and make the most of it, I guess. So yeah, I think one of the things I need to do is find my damn Post-its. I swear I have some around here. I think I have like 1 or 2 little packs left, and I can't find them. So they're not helpful. And so I keep just like randomly writing things down in like weird places, which is not helpful, because then I don't have any context for what I wrote down. Oh, here comes another wave. Awesome. Yeah, so part of my weird conversation with a friend earlier is, you know what, like, derealization, depersonalization feels like? Is it cake? She's like, that's terrible though, because you know how you find out if it's cake? You cut it. And I'm like, I mean, yeah, no, but like, I think it still tracks. Like, you cannot on the surface tell, and so you have to like pick something apart to tell. And then, you know, the only problem with that is in the case of is it cake, you can cut it and then you know this is cake, right? In the course of like picking something apart, actually taking it apart does not clarify anything. She's like, that's really disturbing. And I'm like, I mean, but that's what makes it such a good analogy, is because it is disturbing. Yeah. Part of the many conversations that friend and I have had over the last like week is, you definitely wouldn't want to date me. Like you would not, like if you met somebody who was like me as far as like my personality, like that would not work. And there was a pause of what? And I was like, think about it. He walked into a room and the person you were dating was just like upset for no discernible reason when they were fine moments before. And I mean, not like a little miffed, but like deeply upset. Like, I don't think you'd want to deal with that. And she was like, no. And I'm like, there you go. And so, and the thing is you and I are friends. Like, you like me and you wouldn't want to deal with it. So I don't blame anybody else for not wanting to deal with me outside of friendship. And even my friendship is, I think, a little much for some people. Now the mutual is like, you're not too much. And I'm like, you know, I have a lifetime of people saying otherwise, so I gotta tell you, it's hard for me to believe what you're saying. Like, I hear you. I am absolutely processing what you're saying to me. I cannot say that I can agree with it. Like, logistically speaking, am I too much? That's a matter of opinion. Therefore, it's not really right or wrong, right? I may be too much for one person, but just peachy keen fine for somebody else, right? So, oh, there goes another wave. Awesome. This is great. Operation Don't Eat Any More Cookies today, I think it's about to be a fail. Like, as soon as I'm done with this, I'm gonna like eat cookies, because you know, what else am I going to do with my life right now? Actually, after this, what I really need to do is make another video, because I haven't done the video for today. I need to at least do the post for today. Today we're talking about steel crochet hooks. And I need to, like, I have the draft up, like I have it open in front of me. I would like to do a video. I don't know if I feel up to it, is the other thing though. Hidey ho. Oh, and gone. So, I do have the copy written, so there's that. That's good. Hooray! Is it cake? I still haven't actually watched that show. I've seen, like, I guess the precursor to that, where like you are being shown something and then like somebody's going through with a knife and like cutting all of it, like, you know, a USB, a mouse, a keyboard, and I'm just like, oh my goodness. did not see that coming, which is cool. Like, I just think, I think that level of artistic expression to the point where like reality is questioned is kind of super neat. Yeah. I don't know if we're gonna do a video. I don't know. Let me scroll through this script. I hate to not make this a video, but I look like hell, I think. And I'm not gonna look bitter. I think I should like suck it up though. Probably. The problem with the whole video thing is I need to do like so many other things too. I should do a video because I need to get back to uploading stuff to my YouTube, I guess. So I should just get over my damn self and get the video up. But like I have so many other videos to put up too. But like I want to get all the videos up on my YouTube for this first. Like get all those done first. And then do today's video. Which I could probably do because I think I only have a couple that I have to do. Alright, so here we are. We have gone to the last ditch. We have made it to the end of our little project time. And ta-da! So I don't know how many rounds that I've done. Like I've gotten a bunch done. But anybody who stopped in, I know at least one person pop in. Anybody who stopped in and saw this while I was working on it, thanks. Anybody who watches this later, thanks. And if you're watching this on YouTube, awesome sauce. I appreciate you hanging out with me, listening to me ramble about all kinds of weird stuff, aka the nonsense that is my life. So here we go. You can like see a little better. So like this is what's going on, right? And for context, there's the back. So like it's like this much is leg at this point, right? Her name is Chair now. So anyway, I just want to say thank you for being here, for popping in, for watching. I know that you could do a lot of other things with your time, and it means a lot to me that you hang out with me at all, whether you listen or mute me, or just, you know, it's all good. It's all good. So I'm gonna go. My little railings, thank you for joining me, and so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, and good night. And I will see y'all tomorrow. We're gonna be working on the mending tomorrow. I've gotten the backing placed. I need to decide what I'm doing for the patching on the outside, or whether I'm going to patch on the inside, or like how I'm going to handle it. And then of course, obviously picking a stitch pattern. So there we go. Toodles.